Hello, everyone, and welcome to At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travis.
Yeah, this is episode 225 or something.
Whatever.
I am Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. You can see our faces. I'm wearing pop culture, and you can't see it, but WWE pajamas. That means it's a crossover episode since Backlash was this past Saturday.
Yep, we got two topics.
And I was right, 225. We got two topics. Let's tell you what they are and then hop into topic number one.
One.
I want to preface this by saying this is not sponsored, but Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is coming out later this month, and it looks to be a better Arkham-esque game than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Second topic.
The results of Backlash. But first, let's build up our argument for Lego being better than Rocksteady in this case. Pun intended, by the way.
Yeah. What is your thought? The floor is yours.
The fact that a Lego game is even having Arkham-style combat is insane.
Yeah, my honest opinion is the fact that this feels more like a better continuation of the Arkham games than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, because anytime I saw any footage of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I immediately thought of Fortnite.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And you are not one to play the Lego games.
No.
But even you've said you might pick this up.
I did.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it a while ago. The suit I'm probably going to start with is the first appearance suit for obvious reason.
Yeah, but my thought is like, okay, if this is like, because Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League you really weren't even, you take it great. I'm gonna have to be fighting the evil Justice League. It's like, you're like, oh, this is gonna be tough. No, you're fighting clones, but except you're teaming up with the actual Wonder Woman, which is like very confusing, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, it also...
Not to mention that Task Force X broke into like the Hall of Justice or something.
Also, not to mention is, if this was Arkham Batman, like, guys, let's be 100% for real about this. If this was Arkham Batman, he could have handled the entire Suicide Squad by himself.
And it was Arkham Batman.
But then it was a clone.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't have the memories, DNA, and training of Arkham Batman.
Right. Either way, if it really was Arkham Batman, like I said, let's be real. Arkham Batman could have defeated he's already encountered pretty much everyone on the Suicide Squad. Okay, here's mine, and I'm just gonna say this and then we could compare. It really confused me because A, it swapped out Deadshot and it just made no sense. B, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this. It also made Assault on Arkham non-canon, which is weird.
Yeah, apparently the Deadshot in Arkham Origins was like a copycat or something.
Yeah.
It was Team of Deadshot, pretty much.
Yeah, anyway, not important, but just comparing these two games is the current legacy of the Dark Knight. It looks like you're gonna be able, it's like, yes, you got like the entire, it's not just like, you're not limiting yourself to one one single version of Batman. It's just basically every single...
You're like going throughout his entire career.
Movies, probably going to be movies, TV shows, video games.
There is a reference to Arkham Asylum in Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. We've seen it in the trailers. Heath Ledger's Joker is on a stretcher.
Yeah, my honest thought on this game like this is that would I like to see this games give us other sort of Arkham Lego spin-off? Yes.
There is, funny enough, an Arkham DLC for this game.
Do I think that will happen? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, especially with the fate of WB game uncertain after Netflix bought it. Okay, I did start the timer. Okay, good. Whew. Can't have that happen every episode.
I think Paramount, I don't know. I don't remember what's
But yeah,
going on.
Paramount's trying to buy Netflix. Already bought it, and they have no plans for WB games whatsoever.
Yeah, my honest opinion on, like, don't get me wrong, the Arca, like, this game looks a lot more like, and the reason we're comparing these two games is because one, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League didn't really feel like the same sort of story, or because if it really was the same sort of thing, you would have had a lot more Arkham combat instead of, like, Fortnite.
Well, the thing is, you were playing as the bad guys, so in a Predator map, you were the one getting taken down.
Yeah.
I saw that because I watched a little bit of the game before I quickly lost interest. I did not play it, but from what I saw, Batman took down all of the Suicide Squad except for Harley.
Yeah.
And then they had a Batman Art versus Scarecrow type Arkham Asylum level where Batman was a giant monster and you had to shrink him down.
Yeah.
Sorry, Batman's clone.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when you look at, like, cause, like, also what makes this game even crazier is, keep in mind, there's not just gonna be regular crime. It's not just gonna be, here's Gotham City, here's crime. In this new game, there's also just gonna be regular civilians.
Yeah, which is very different from an Arkham game.
Yeah.
Because in every Arkham game that was open world, at least, the streets were like clear of normal civilians.
Pretty much, yeah. They were
It started
just
with Arkham City, which literally every NPC you saw was some sort of criminal.
pretty much, yes.
Then
rarely
Arkham
you would
Origins was New Year's, and you didn't really see people out.
Hold up.
Despite being Gotham City, they probably had a ball to drop.
Even though in Asylum you did have to go, like, there were a couple of civilians, but it was mostly thugs and
Yeah, in Asylum, the only civilians I can think of were like police officers and Jim.
Yeah.
And in Arkham Knight, which in my personal Arkham timeline is the end of the story, the entire city was evacuated, and the only civilians you saw were Barbara, a few members of the GCPD, those firefighters,
Lucius Fox
and that's it.
and Lucius
Right, and Lucius and I guess Thomas Elliot.
and kinda Alfred, even though you don't really physically see him.
Yeah, but that's about it. This game you're gonna have a city that feels like a city.
And apparently, this map is bigger than Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I mean, like, cause when you look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, compare it, like, sure, well, we haven't really compared it, but it's just, there wasn't really, in Suicide, like, there really wasn't a whole lot of, like, there wasn't really, like, a major plot. Yeah, sure, Brainiac was doing it, but it was the story was kind of stupid, anyway.
Yeah, like Brainiac took over. I don't even know I don't even remember what the story
Metropolis.
was. But, right.
Because I remember seeing a story where, like, Batman was, because it makes less sense when you think about it from, like, why would Batman want to join the Justice League when his identity and his whole faking of,
Not to mention the fact that the Justice League formed after the events of Arkham Knight.
yeah, because we all assumed that Batman had been a founding member in the Arkham timeline for years because it's Batman. But instead, he was like, all right, sure, I guess I'll join.
I guess they were following the animated series route where he was a part-time member.
He's like, you want, But my honest thoughts on just sticking to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is, like I've said, it didn't really feel like an Arkham game comparing it to the Lego game, but it's just, it was very, honestly, my own thought is I think Arkham Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League kind of messed up the whole Arkham timeline, in my honest opinion.
Yeah,
What are
and
your
we've
thoughts?
talked about this before, how it removed a Sultan from the canonicity of the Arkham timeline.
And
I
in case you
remember
want,
having to Google that just so we have an answer.
because here's, look, and I'm going to bring it up again because, look, the reason why I say that that's a problem is because two characters in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League should be dead. Kind of. No. King Shark should be dead.
Yep.
Waller should be dead because Deadshot, well,
Bang.
exactly. And Batman didn't even do anything to save her. He's like, bye.
Hey, at least Deadshot's daughter didn't hear him kill a woman.
Yeah.
She had headphones on playing with her teddy bear.
He's like, okay, fine. But overall, like, my honest thought, like, what are your thoughts about this? The floor is yours. What are your thoughts?
As someone who has played the Lego games all the way back since the mumble days, where they didn't have actual dialogue, they would just mumble and up the humor of it. Yeah, it would be like,
Yeah, anyway.
I'm excited to play a Lego game that I will be able to build a lore of a character essentially from the ground up.
Yeah. What I am
Because, like
very,
I said, and in the trailers, we've seen like his training with the League of Shadows. We've seen the Red Hood gang from Zero Year. Like I
Yeah.
feel like this is like every Arkham game sort of, or I hate to say this. This is Lego Arkham Break. Let's be real.
yeah. I'm just wondering how the interrogation scenes, because I'm just wondering how Lego style, how Arkham style interrogation would work in a Lego game.
I just wish for Batman they got Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah.
Instead, Batman sounds like this and very quiet. Not really, like, I get what they're going for, but if Roger Craig Smith is the default Bat voice for video games after the tragic death of Kevin Conroy, then we need, and this would be his first outing since Arkham Shadow.
Yes.
Then, and if we're building a Batman, who better to have be that Batman than Roger Craig Smith?
Yes. My honest thoughts on this Arkham Lego game is, while I admit it will be fun to see on how you can build up your Batcave and all that stuff, but it's just a thing that I'm more worried about is is it just gonna focus on the Batman side and not so much the billionaire playboy facade side of the guy?
I have no idea. I'm just excited to see all the suits they have because they have suits as recent as Absolute Batman and Absolute Catwoman in it.
Yeah.
And I wonder honestly how deep this game is gonna go. Because I know the Robins will change throughout the game. It'll
Yeah.
start with Dick Grayson, then he'll go Nightwing, then it'll have Jason Todd. He'll probably turn into Red Hood at some point.
I'm very curious to see how they're gonna pull off Death in the Family.
Yeah, I am too.
Tim.
You know, I know that like the playable characters that I know of are Batman, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Probably multiple Robins.
Probably.
Batgirl.
Probably.
Commissioner Gordon, and Catwoman. Those are like the five. And then there'll be DLC later where the Joker becomes a playable character.
I'm just, like you said, I am wondering how deep into the Bat family we're gonna go and how deep are we just gonna get, the more iconic villains that Batman has fought over the years? Or are we gonna also lean in to the more ridiculous ones?
I hope we get a variety of villains.
Because for me, there's two villains I want in this game, just for complete comedic effect. Lord Deathman and Condiment King.
Why did I have a feeling one of them was going to be Condiment King?
Hello, best friend.
I will
Anyway,
say I have seen the Poison Ivy boss fight, and Batman doesn't want Robin, who at that time is probably Dick Grayson based on the suit, being very jokative, which is weird for a Lego game.
yeah. But either way, this game should be very entertaining. And I'm just wondering, like, how, like we said, how deep into the lore of this character we're gonna get, like, what, like, cause what, are we just gonna get, like, what particular, like, are we gonna get, like, different versions of the same characters, like, different versions of, or is this game gonna have, like, one version of the Penguin, one version of Joker, or
We're,
is
we're
it
gonna
just
have different suits for the characters, I feel like.
yeah.
Like I mentioned, we have suits as recent as the Absolute suit, and the pre-order bonus for the game is the Batman first appearance suit, which is why I'm starting the game off in that suit.
Yeah. You got any other stuff you want to say, or?
No, I can stop the timer. We got like 9.5 minutes.
Alright. We will definitely return to this game. Maybe, probably.
Yeah, maybe after a few weeks so we can give like a little review of what we think of the game.
Yes.
And we are back with the final topic, the results of Backlash. If I did this right, you can see on screen the match card, which this, I have to say, my opinion on this overall PLE, meh. Like, it wasn't the best, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst.
Alright.
I'm just gonna go in order that we predicted. Starting off with the main event, my good golly god, that was a war. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu.
Who Roman Reigns is holding an acknowledgement ceremony on Raw.
Tonight, actually, as of this recording.
Yes.
And, yeah, this feud between Roman and Jacob is far from over. Like, so far, it's not even funny far.
Yeah.
But when the dust settled, neither of us drew first blood because we both picked Roman Reigns. The next match we predicted was Braun Breaker versus Seth freaking Rollins. And the match, I hate to say I don't remember this match very well.
Yeah, mostly because this match was free on ESPN.
Well, yeah, but either way, I'm paying $300 a year for the ESPN app. You really think I'm gonna watch the first hour on cable television?
Fair
But
enough.
I had to go to the results on the Ringside News app to see who won, and it
Braun
was
Breaker.
Braun Breaker, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, consider he was just coming back from a hernia injury, so.
Yeah. All right. Match number 3, the United States Championship match. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn.
I didn't give a shit about this match. This feud has been
I'm
weird.
just mad that Little Yachty got involved, to be honest.
Because this whole feud is. I'm very confused because you have this whole thing with like the gingerbread man and all that stuff is like.
Yeah, my brother asked me what was up with that, and I told him I have no idea.
Yeah, even I'm just like.
Like, if it was around Christmas time, it would
Cool.
make sense. But
Yeah.
guys, it's not even summer yet.
No.
It's not
Just
summer
kinda-
until the guy who's talking alongside me's birthday.
Yeah, but it's kind of just like, guys, like I've heard people say that this stuff is like as like I like worse than the shit we got back in 2019. Bad.
Don't remind me of the days of Vince control. And this could be a topic for a later date. I feel like TKO, hot take here, might be worse than Vin.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway.
Trick Williams won. He's gonna get a huge pop on SmackDown this Friday
Yep.
because it's in Colombia, his hometown.
Yep. Moving on. What we got? Yeah. Who won that? Wait.
Up next was Io Sky versus Asuka. Kai's not get involved, but the Sky was able to defeat the Empress of Tomorrow. Finally, someone drew first blood, and it was me. Yeah, every match up to that prediction we had tied, and the tie and the both of us getting it correct will continue with Danhausen versus Miz and Kit Wilson. And Dan's partner was a Minihausen, played by El Torito.
Yeah, which is weird, but also entertaining.
Yeah,
It's still weird.
I never said it was not weird, but that means the trend continues for when it doesn't matter, I get it right.
Yeah, overall, and then keep in mind, folks, later this month, we got another one.
We do?
At the end of the month.
Oh, right,
Italy.
right. Where someone will be challenging Cody for the title. I forget who. Oh,
Gunther.
right. Anyways, that is all the time we have for this installment, episode 25. Holy crap, that's a lot. Of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit and the Executioner. Thank you for listening. Follow us on subscribe to the website and YouTube, links in the description. Follow us on Instagram X, link also in the description. We'll be back with more debates and discussions next week, but until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.